These drivers have 130 miles to settle it here tonight. Ronnie Norman and Cody Griffin lead the field into turn number 1 at New Hampshire. Side by side, the back end of these trucks do not want to cooperate here on cold tires. See who can get to the power first. Griffin right up alongside the wall there. These two were battling side by side at Nashville Super Speedway for the lead after Ashton Crowder hit last week. Griffin high up and nearly into the wall. Ronnie Norman takes the lead. It's the 0-1 of John Pansola just behind. Lehman is loose. Pansola doesn't look like he checks up there in time. Lehman, pretty hard contact there into the inside wall. Well, Patton tried to take the line away from Crowder. He stays on the track that time, and now Crowder is going to move himself up to the lead. Lap 65, pretty good jump here for Michael Milfeld, and he needed it.
Yes, he did. Ashton Crowder's going to go down to the line. He sits there. He slides up just a little bit. Ooh, everybody's loose behind him. Straighten it up.
Crowder underneath of Michael Milfeld. There's the Crowder line in 3 and 4.
Ooh, Scott and Justin there get together. Justin slides up the track.
Justin going to give up a couple of positions here. There's Cody Griffin underneath of him. That is for 4th as Crowder leading the way now. It doesn't take much to upset this truck. Just a little tap there into the right rear quarter panel and Griffin. I mean, that was a hard shot. Win number 7 on the season. It's been a magic night for Ashton Crowder at the Magic Mile. From the back to the front, Crowder wins it in New Hampshire. Running down Cruz here. Look out. It's a little jump. Whoa, a big jump. Holy cow.
Yeah.
Oh, and he's gone. Who says Kansas is a flyover state? There are going to be a few drivers that are going to be looking to fly through the field here tonight. And what better place to do that than right here at the mile-and-a-half cookie cutter that often lends itself into chaos and great racing. That is exactly what we're expecting out of round unlucky number 13 of 20 here for the revival season of Maximum Velocity Racing on turn 200. Howdy folks, Tommy Cook and Matt Williamson making his return here tonight. He'll be along momentarily. Before we bring him in, as usual, we'll take a look at the point standings after 12 completed rounds of action this season. Ashton Crowder has now, for the first time, assumed the points lead. Tonight he's in an interesting predicament, but we'll talk about that momentarily. Long story short, his dominant victory at New Hampshire does stand through some turmoil. That happened after the drop of the checkers. Andrew Schultz with another podium finish. He has moved up into second now. Greg Mall has moved up to third. Ronnie Norman to fourth. Justin Michael back in the top 5. James Lehman, Will Kirk back to 7th. Brad Slagle 8th. Scott Patton and Charlie Widener, your top 10 heading into Kansas tonight. 85 laps and the sun is setting here in America's Heartland, and that means it is just about time to go qualifying. Round 13 of the revival season of Maximum Velocity Racing from Kansas Speedway is around the turn on turn 200.
A blind knight that uses echolocation, viewing the dark, treacherous world through sound. Trapped in a dungeon, endangered by combatants, where hazards lurk around every corner. Make sound to have vision, or don't and be stealthy. Avoid impaling threats throughout the dungeon to escape. engage with other prisoners.
Rogue Nardo, been here a while. Could you find the key and unlock my cell?
Free them to fight back with more allies.
Let's take this guy.
The dungeon labyrinth has many paths and even more traps. Struggle through the darkness to find your freedom.
The ASRL Southern Shores Realty Sports Car Championship live on Wednesday night from Sears Point Raceway, only on Turn 200. And now, our feature presentation. Welcome, one and all, to Kansas Speedway. We're here live on Turn 200, covering Maximum Velocity Racing League, and look who's back. Matt Williamson, welcome to Kansas. How are we feeling?
Feeling pretty good. Just got off the off weekend. Got to go to Talladega for the races in real life. So had a good time, rejuvenated, and Kansas always puts on a good show. So excited to see what the Maximum Velocity drivers have in store for us here tonight.
And we're excited to see what a couple of our drivers are thinking of their time out on track here. We'll see if we can sneak in a quick word here with Rob Haynes. Up in booth 200. He's up in the top 5 in the speed charts here. You got a copy?
I got you, Tommy.
How are we doing? How are we feeling ahead of Kansas tonight?
Yeah, pretty good. Pretty big field. So going to be looking for a good qualifying spot tonight.
And it seems like this race is a little bit more wide open than some of the other races we've had this season. So expectations for tonight, a win, top 5, what are we thinking?
Yeah, I think that's the goal. At least a top 10. I don't know where I'm going to rank out here when tires start falling off, but we'll see how it goes. There's multiple lines here, and we just got to find the fast one tonight and get to the checkered flag.
Anybody want to shout out or say hello when this one kicks off?
Yeah, of course, you guys up in the booth, Bandit Motorsports, my daughters, and to the guys racing tonight. Good luck.
Well, best of luck to you as well. Hopefully we'll get to talk to you again after the end of this one.
Thanks, guys.
So there's Rob Haynes. He was 4th quickest when we pulled him into the booth. He got moved down to 5th quickest because Andrew Schulte went up to 2nd. And we got about 20 seconds left here. The reason I said this one might be more wide open than some of the other ones we've had of late, Ashton Crowder got penalized last week at New Hampshire. Remember, he took the new People's Choice Challenge after scoring the pole, going to the back to pick up some extra bonus points, but in starting in the back, he passed a truck before start-finish, and his penalty was improperly cleared. So he is being penalized 2 laps in tonight's race. So he is going to start this race from the pits. Once he is 2 laps down, he will be allowed to join the drivers out on track. So that's why this one feels a little bit more wide open than it may have normally been. Not just because Ashton Crowder is not going to start at the front of the field, but because he's going to start multiple laps down. He is going to have an uphill battle tonight for sure. As drivers now on track for 5-minute, 3-lap qualifying.
Yep, we're going to watch some of our drivers here. A few already out on the track on their out lap here. Noah Rainwaters, who we're taking a gander at right now.
And he was just in the chat not a couple of seconds ago before he got out on chat. So hello to Noah and hello to you watching out in Turn 200 lane. Give us a shout. Let us know where you're watching from and who you're rooting.
And everybody just got to get a little sneak peek of the iRacing UI because I was racing last night. And nobody had talked but when I was in here, and driver chat was still on, so had to turn that off real quick.
We were going to go from PG to NC-17 very quickly if you didn't do that. So that's a good on you there. Nice catch.
Noah's completing his first lap right now. He gets down onto the apron on the front stretch. He's the first one to put a time in here.
31:052. Him, a 30:69 was the quickest time in practice. I'm sure that was probably draft dated. Still, probably high 30s here.
Here's Rob Haynes, who we just talked to, riding right up against the wall here on the first lap to try to get a good run here on the second lap. Get a nice run down the front stretch, get a little extra time in there, carry the speed into turn one.
4 drivers looking to make their first starts here tonight. One of those was Mick McGuire, who was just in second, just got bumped down to 4th. Matt Burkhart goes to second, Pansola up to 3rd. Here's Rob Haynes at the line for his second lap. He goes to the top of the board at 39:38. First driver into the 30s.
Oh, and there goes Will Kirk up to the top spot.
Will Kirk needs a good night tonight. And no better opportunity than to start on the pole. Of course, we'll have an opportunity for extra points, or whoever scores the pole, as Justin Michael now goes to the top.
Rod Mitten in the 92, sporting a pretty good looking truck here tonight. Currently sits in 5th, just crossed the line. He's going to move up 1 spot. Moves Burkmo down to 5th. Mitten will move up to 4th.
Blake Medu is in 6th. Another new driver, Ted Moser in 11th. Brennan Gregg and Cody Griffin has just jumped into the top 10. Griffin 5th, Gregg 7th. Now Matt Rodolasso into the top 5. We got Marilyn Beck in the chat cheering on Will Kirk.
Yeah, Kirk with a great qualifying effort up to this point, still hanging on to that 2nd spot.
Michael Milfeld Jr. just jumped up to 3rd. He's had some outstanding qualifying runs of late. $50 seconds to go. Top 9 drivers all under 31 seconds. Tyler Chalk is coming to put up his first lap right now. And I believe that is 14th quickest.
Jack Watts just moved into the top 10 here with that last lap. He has 1 more left to put in a good time.
Ronnie Norman is going to dash to the line here. So I don't know if he's going to come back around to put up a lap.
And that is all she wrote.
And I think right at the buzzer, Scott Patton snuck in there to take a top 5 starting position. So now the new tradition, we are going to try and pull in, if I can find him. Oh, James Lehman's already in here. Okay, so we'll pull up, or do you have a verdict already, or do I need to pull in Justin?
I'm going to pull them up for you.
All right. So pole sitter Justin Michael is now up here in booth 200.
Well, Justin, congratulations on winning the pole here tonight at Kansas. You have the choice of doing the People Choice Award. Quick description for everybody that's watching. It's the leader has a choice to start in the back of the pack, on the initial start, and if he can finish in the top 5 at the end of the race, he gets an additional 2 bonus points. So, Justin, do you wish to take this challenge?
Not at this track. Can't pass. I'll stay up front. I appreciate it, though.
Alrighty. Well, good luck tonight, man.
Thanks, man.
Yep. Best of luck to both of you, gentlemen.
See you, Tommy. See you, Matt.
See ya. Good luck.
And with that, we are on to the starting grid. Justin Michael will not take the People's Choice Challenge, and instead we'll start from the pole position here tonight. Will Kirk starting from the outside pole. It's a great opportunity for him, as it is for Michael Milfeld Jr., who will start third. Rob Haynes, who we talked to in the pre-show, he was fourth quickest in practice. He's fourth fastest in qualifying. Top 5 starters rounded out by Scott Patton. Rod Mitten will line up to his outside in the 6th position. Matt Ronalazzo and Cody Griffin on row number 4. Brendan Gregg and Jack Watts round out your top 10 starters. Riley Berkma and the debuting Blake Maydew, 11th and 12th. Wally Turheimer will start at 13th. Charlie Widener in 14th. Tyler Chalk, Noah Rainwater on row number 8. John Pansola and Doug Haveron on row number 9. Then row number 10 is Kerry Cleaver and the debuting Ted Moser. Ronnie Norman back at 21st, Matt Burkhart 22nd, Johnny Hamby back at 23rd, Mick McGuire in 24th, and Ryan McRoberts, the last of those drivers to put up the time. Trucks are rolling off of pit road. The rest of the starting lineup will be scrolling past you. Noticeably absent from the drivers we mentioned is Ashton Crowder, who will have to start from the pit lane and will incur a 2-lap penalty. Matt Williamson, trucks on track at Kansas. What are we expecting here tonight?
Well, we got 85 laps around Kansas here tonight. 3 extra sets of tires. Fuel capacity is at 70%, which should be about 30 laps. Definitely looking at a 2-stopper here tonight for sure. 0 fast repairs here tonight, and as you can see, the sun is just about down. And track temperature right now is 72 degrees, so very cool track temperature. Will be great for the drivers once they get the run going. We'll have to be careful here on the first couple laps.
Definitely this track state, it seems like it's going to be optimal for aggression, and that may just be the thing that does this field in. We'll have to see. Mile and a half racing has been fantastic this season. I think we're in for another doozy. Justin Michael and Will Kirk in control of the field up front. 85 laps at Kansas is underway for maximum velocity.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
I couldn't tell if it was almost contact or it was contact between the 9 of Will Kirk and the 46 of Scott Patton. As Patton looks
Kirk is
underneath the...
Oh, contact Haynes! Oh, they're wrecking big time. That is ugly.
Oh, dear.
That's 10 to 12, 15 trucks even. Goodness gracious. That started with Will Kirk getting loose. He slides up the track into Rob Haynes. Just exactly what you and I were talking about before this race started. Optimal track conditions, but suboptimal results.
Well, not only that, but you have to be careful on cooler tires, and I think that's what happened to Kirk. He just kind of sent it in there a little too hard on cool tires, and it broke loose on him.
Well, things are certainly looking up. Ashton Crowder all of a sudden. Take a look at this.
Yeah, let's go ahead and back it up because this really happened on entry into turn 3 is when Kirk got a little bent out of shape here. This is headed into turn 3. Kirk is high and he's going to get a little loose. Right there, you see the front and that nose just gets away from him a little bit, so he's going to have to chase this thing. And as he does, he just gets right up into Rob Haynes in the 199, and that starts an absolute chain reaction here. And it, I mean, like you said, 10, maybe 15 trucks. Now, good news for some of the drivers that took minimal contact is the new damage model this year. You can take some pretty decent shots and still be okay, but man, there were a couple guys that got really hard into the wall there and into each other. Definitely a lot of damage here in the back half of the field.
That may be the biggest non-super speedway crash we've seen. Yeah, that full stop. That may be the biggest non-super speedway crash we've seen. There was one about that size, I think, at Chicagoland. Yeah, that was ugly. 8 drivers picked up meatball flags out of that. 3 of those have been cleared. Actually, now make it 4. A 5th one was cleared in the form of Jack Watts disconnecting from the session. Nicholas Bradshaw is now going to follow suit there. So, only 2 drivers with outstanding meatballs here. That was an interesting start to the race here.
That certainly was a start. You see a few of our drivers coming back down pit road to try to get some more damage fixed here before going back green. This field, I'd say more than half the field came into pit that time around, most likely to fix some optional damage or required.
Yeah, I should mention the drivers that picked up meatball flags: Brennan Gregg, Tyler Chalk, Jack Watson, Mick McGuire, Kerry Cleaver, Heath Smith. Jack Watts has disconnected. Nicholas Bradshaw also picked up a meatball flag. He's also disconnected. Brennan Gregg, Kerry Cleaver, Heath Smith, and Mick McGuire all have cleared their meatball flags. Now, meatball is the iRacing slang term for required repairs that have to be done within a certain amount of green flag laps, otherwise you'll be disqualified from the race. Will Kirk over the radio, very apologetic about the crash. Said he rolled out of the gas with the truck right in front of him and lost all the air and brought the truck around, and that's pretty much exactly what we saw. But Will Kirk being very sounds very upset about the whole thing, as you could imagine. It was looking to be a good night, and all of a sudden it wasn't, and a lot of people went down with him.
Well, it's shaking up already. About to take the green flag on lap 6 of 85. Still a long, long ways to go here.
I know a little something about going out just one lap into a race.
Hey, you finished, though.
I did finish. By golly, it only took 25 minutes of repairs, but I finished the race. Justin Michael in control, back on her way.
Michael with a great jump. Patton and Milfelt battling side by side for now. Patton will slot in front.
A couple of drivers shot the middle through 3 wide. Noah Rainwater and Schulta most prominently to get into the top 10.
Rainwater's looking for more. He's underneath Pansula right now through turns 3 and 4. He has Andrew Schulta right on his heels, and now looking to the inside.
We've made it a lap under green. Oh! Right underneath of James Lehman. I think the 999 of Ted Moser got awfully loose, nearly careened up into him.
Yeah, we are nearly 3 wide here into turn 3, and you see drivers. This is what's great about Kansas. Lines all over the racetrack to run. You see drivers from the top to the bottom right now.
Oh, Rainwater has clipped the apron a couple of times in the last few laps and done a nice job saving it, but there's going to come a point in the run where clipping the apron is going to be a death sentence, I would imagine.
There goes a 444 of Blake Madu. Talking about how it's his, I think his first race here in the Maximum Velocity Racing League, and good showing so far already. Up to 4th. And looking for more as Milfelt had a bit of a problem there through turns 1 and 2. He backed up big time.
Yeah, Blake was fast in practice, fast in qualifying. Looks pretty quick here in the race, I would say, challenging for 3rd. As Bandit Motorsports teammate 1st and 2nd, just like leading Scott Patton.
Looks like some contact farther back in this pack. This is an absolute cluster here.
Truck in the wall nearly.
That was Matt Burkhart. Oh, and Matt Burkhart was slapped the wall there with the tail of the truck as well.
Ronnie Norman and Rod Mitten just made contact down the back straightaway 3 wide. Yeah, we're still shuffling out through the field here. Oh, they're 3 wide again. Just outside of the top 10, Greg Mall. It's inviting to go 3 wide, but
and Lehman trying to make the most of it. He's going to get underneath. Oh, and here comes Greg Mall to make it 3 wide again. He goes from the top all the way to the bottom.
oh man, Michael Milfelt up front was looking underneath of Scott Patton on the entry to 3. On exit of 4, he grazed the wall, so lost quite a bit of time. As Mall and Lehman nearly making contact in 1 and 2. I don't know where to look. There's stuff happening everywhere.
Yeah, this battle just inside and outside the top 10 here is something crazy right now. About to look 3 wide again. Rainwater, Lehman, and Cody Griffin.
Griffin rocking 3 here tonight. And I will say, I do believe a lot of the influx of new drivers that we've got here are as a result of Cody recruiting for his new, I believe, Gen 4 league. So that has helped bring in some of the new drivers. We picked up a couple of new ones last week at New Hampshire as well.
And we haven't really mentioned it, but early on, before the tires start to kind of go on you a little bit, Kansas is kind of pack style-ish. Not quite super speedway style, but you definitely get the draft in the trucks, and you can kind of stay attached to the people around you, until you get 25, 30 laps on the tires, and there's a lot more tire wear.
And just behind Greg Mall and Noah Rainwater is Ashton Crowder, who again is 2 laps down, picking his way up through the field.
Boy, big movement back here in the back. One of those drivers is Will Kirk. Pansula was the other end. Pansula continues to go backwards. I think when he made contact with the wall, it messed up the balance of that truck pretty bad.
And just to point out, if the caution were to come out now, unless Mick McGuire were involved in the accident, which wouldn't be likely, considering where he's at on the track, Ashton Crowder would not get the lucky dog. He'd be trapped 2 laps down still.
Wow, Griffin had to roll way out of it. He almost got up into Rodolasso there. And he had to back out of it so far. He's getting passed by Rainwater. Now he has Mall and Ashton Crowder right here. Of course, Crowder, you just mentioned it's still a lap down.
Andrew Schulte just made a 2-for-1 pass to move up from 6th to 4th. But Blake Madu is fighting back here. Pretty solid run thus far for Wally Turheimer. Just as I say that, he gets up into the wall out of turn 4. Oh, Crowder just got turned nearly by Greg Mall. Had to save it. It's all happening again.
Yeah, it's happening all right. And there's still a lot of action, but things have still calmed down a bit from what it was.
Yeah.
A lot more single file throughout the field right now.
Top 10 right now is Justin Michael, Scott Patton, Michael Milfeld, Andrew Schulte, Blake Madu, your top 5. James Lehman, 6th. Wally Turheimer, 7th. Matt Rodolasso in 8th. Noah Rainwater in 9th. And Cody Griffin right now rounds out your top 10. But there's a whole host of characters from about 7th to 15th that are all pretty close together here.
Speaking of Cody Griffin in 10th place, let's go ahead and go on board with the 3 right now. You just see he had a big run into turn 1 and had to back out of it right behind Rainwater. Everybody has started to migrate towards the top of the track as the tires have started to wear.
Greg Mall slipped in about a truck width gap there to the wall. To the outside of Cody Griffin. Oh!
Oh!
Trouble. It's Griffin and Norman. Griffin back at the track. Everybody does a nice job avoiding. Caution is out for the second time. And I think Griffin with Maul to his outside. I don't know if there was contact between he and Maul at any point, but he moved down to give him a little room, and Roddy Norman was right there.
Flaky Roberts said that we should tell them to slow down because they might hurt themselves, and lo and behold, here we are.
Yeah, nobody got hurt that time, but it was awfully close.
Go ahead and back it up here. I want to back it up all the way to where Maul got that nose in on Griffin because we were on board. We couldn't quite see it. Griffin just bought a truck width off the wall, and Maul says, all right, I'll take it. I have a little run here. So he does. And then as we're coming out of turn 4 onto the front stretch, just crossed the start-finish line, we're going to see Maul and Griffin get together here. And I think Griffin's expecting Maul to be right up on the wall for entry, and he's just not. Those two come together, and then Griffin takes out Ronnie Norman in the process here. Not really any more damage other than that, though, thank goodness. Griffin came sliding right up the racetrack. He has him locked down, but just had so much speed. He goes up the racetrack, but everybody does a really, really great job of avoiding it here.
Field is on pit road. And I had mentioned that Mick McGuire would be in position for the Lucky Dog. About 2 laps after I said that, he actually retired from the race. So the Lucky Dog goes to Ashton Crowder, who is now 1 lap down. On the race off of pit road, Scott Patton wins. He came in second and beats his teammate Justin Michael out of the pits.
Quite a few drivers on pit road with extended stays on pit road here, so I would guess probably still trying to get damage fixed from the very first incident.
Hey, we've got Martha Turheimer in the chat saying, hope you're have a good race. I tell you what, Wally's having a pretty darn good race to this point, I'd say. He's been in the top 5 nearly the entire run here.
Yeah, in the top 5, battling hard. I mean, the competition's really fierce right now.
So you should be a proud mama up to this point. Wally's having a great time up here in the top 5.
Scott Patton has leapfrogged Justin Michael here on pit stops.
Yes, he has. never really left the tailgate of Justin Michael after that first restart. Beats him out of pit road. Andrew Schulte now has leapfrogged a couple of drivers. He's done battling with Blake Madu. Leapfrogs Michael Milfelt. Now will restart in third.
And Justin Michael mentioned that he did not want to go to the back of the field and try to make it to the front here tonight because it's difficult to pass. And boy, did he make the right decision with an accident there, taking out most of the back half of the field.
That was, I'm not going to say I didn't expect, a semi-big crash. That was maybe a little bit bigger than I thought we were going to get. Even with 34 trucks here tonight, which is the first time in a few weeks that we've been over 30 on the entry count. And they all found themselves in some pretty deep dew early on in this one.
Well, I think we're getting some fuel save here already from your leader, Justin Michael. And we're way before the pit stop window. Well, I shouldn't say way before. We're a little bit before that pit stop window, I think, that these drivers wanted to see. I think they wanted to make it to at least lap 25, if not 30, or maybe a couple more before they came down pit road under green. Of course, they were their hand was forced this time, and everybody decided to come down pit road, but maybe a little bit shorter on their fuel than they would like to be at this stage in the race.
And I actually did do 2 full fuel runs this week, and I can tell you it is right around 30. I had 129 and 131, so 30 is the number. We're not wrong this time, or I'm not wrong this time. Scott Patton in control of the field. He's on a nice streak of races, wants to keep it going. Doing a nice job thus far, leading the way at Kansas. Justin Michael backing up a bit. Here is Schulte now to the inside, and he is clear for second.
Michael, I think, tried to get to the outside of Schulte, but Schulte closes the door here. We are back to being all spread out once again. Lehman pushing Milfelt down the front stretch. Gets Milfelt out past the 444 of Blake Madu. Oh, Madu slides up right in front of Lehman here. Lehman's going to look to the inside.
Oh, and here goes Schulte for the race lead.
Oh!
Wow, Schulte drove it in deep. Patton with a great run through the middle. And holds on to the top spot for now. Here's Michael to the outside of Andrew Schulte for second. And clear.
Schulte almost didn't make that stick. Wow, here comes a big run from the 50 of Lehman.
Yeah, just like that. Schulte is on super defense here. As Lehman in third. He's going to be clear on Schulte. Does he stay on offense here? No.
Wow, it
that
looked like
a little time.
I think Patton had to maybe back out of it. Almost got up into the wall. My goodness.
Great battling up front here as Justin Michael has found his way back to the front. Patton now fighting with Lehman for second. Lehman now, good look here on the inside. But the help is up top.
And later on in the run, and the tire save line is definitely up by the wall. We see a lot of drivers stick to that. But Lehman is making hay on the bottom right now early on with fresh tires.
Rainwater and Turheimer just got awfully close through 1 and 2. They're battling for 6th. So they continue to battle up front here.
Shout out to Zach Brosman in the chat. Says this is his first time tuning in. Thank you for tuning in and watching. Hope you're enjoying it.
I'd have to imagine you are enjoying it because this is not often you get to see bump drafting at the lead other than anywhere other than the super speedways. And these are all 4 teammates, by the way. As we're seeing drivers swapping lanes. Really is like Talladega here at Kansas.
Yeah, Patton's now gone to the bottom. Lehman pulled up in front of him. They're going to swap again on the front stretch.
Switch again. Deal or no deal. Swap your case. Swap your line.
Looks like IndyCar tandem drafting right now. Or, excuse me, redacted car tandem drafting.
Yes. And a confirmation from Zach in the chat. He is enjoying. I would imagine everybody that's watching is loving this up front. Good battling all the way through the top 10 right now. Terheimer is held on to the 6th position for now. We'll try and track down Michael Milfelt.
Schultz is still right here, but he's kind of stayed out of the battle after trying to make that big move. I think maybe trying to cool the tires down a little bit, save some life in them to make these moves a little bit later on here, but he's going to split the middle. He tries to anyways, not quite able to make it stick. Just couldn't find the grip there.
At what point is Lehman going to try and roll out of this? Maybe now? Got a bit of a gap, but Schulte closes it.
I think Lehman's going to stay committed to this bottom for quite a while, but I fear that it's going to hurt him here in the long run.
Well, these two staying side by side as now they get up into line. It was allowing Michael Milfelt to catch up. Greg Mall just made contact with Blake Madu. I don't know how Blake didn't go spinning into the inside wall there. But Blake's been going the wrong direction here the last couple of laps. Right now, it's just about to fall outside of the top 10 if Mitten is going to get around.
Oh, wow. Nearly contact between Madu and Mitten there. Madu's been working the bottom a lot more than most of the drivers here tonight, just like Lehman.
Schulte fell way off here, to the point where Michael Milfelt was actually looking to make a pass. Didn't get it done. So now maybe these drivers looking to settle into a run here.
Yeah, trying to get settled in. Probably got about 20 laps left before they'll have to come in again. Or they're hoping so anyways, because that would put them right on the fuel number.
Yeah, really, that caution came out at a really awkward time for these drivers to try and make it on one more stop. Ronnie Norman has just hit pit road here on lap 36.
Madu continues to go backwards. Minton did clear. Now Kirk's working on the 444.
Oh, Patton into the wall.
Oh, no.
Oh, and Lehman gets tagged as they're checking up.
Lehman's still in the grass.
I was just about to comment how everybody not just was starting on the top, but they were really running the Larson line there, right up against the wall. And Patton got a little too close. That moves, I believe, Michael Milfelt up to second now. Here's Noah Ringwater going for a pass on Wally Terheimer. Now to move into the top five.
Milfelt's up in the wall.
Oh, man.
Patton and Schulte go through here. Rainwater with a big run as well.
Rainwater and Terheimer, they were battling for fifth. Now they're going to battle for fourth. I don't know if Noah knows that Michael just got up into the wall. Gets checked up, gets bottled up there on the top side.
I don't think you want to get stuck on the bottom here like Terheimer is right now.
No.
Oh. trying to
and
get up into the top line. He's not clear. Rodalasso's there.
He was clear and was hesitant. Then Rodalasso filled the gap. Rodalasso might be able to cross him over here. It is tight quarters. Mold again. And Rod Minton also into the wall. That was bound to happen. The way that run stacked up, nobody went around, no caution.
Mala and Rodalasso tried to go underneath, and Maul just about hooked Rodalasso, but then got sideways himself from the contact.
Unfortunately for Rod Minton, he has a meatball fly. He will be pitting this time.
Man.
That was unfortunate. Man, no shortage of things happening second through 12th here in the last couple of laps, but all this has allowed Justin Michael to pull out to a pretty hefty 1.5 second advantage.
Well, I mean, it helps that the second, third, and fourth have been battling pretty hard here.
And crashing and hitting the wall. And
yes, that too.
Everything other than concerning themselves with Justin Michael. As they are still battling for second here. Schulte on the outside, Patton on the inside. Michael Milfeld Jr. is here as well. Noah Rainwater lurking back in fifth. He is done away with Wally Turheimer, who has faded away a bit, but still riding in sixth with Matt Rodalasso right behind him.
Patton and Schulte back to it again here.
Ronnie Norman is back on pit road, so I think some bigger problems on the sixth truck, unfortunately. And he is disconnected, so it's night over for Ronnie Norman. Tough night.
Magic number we're trying to make it to on fuel here. We're not too far away. Magic number would be lap 55, but that is going to be pushing it on this run for fuel.
Greg Mall and Ron Minton were discussing the incident over the radio. Might have a second here to dig through and look for a couple of replays of things that have happened.
Yeah, I have one racked up for when James Lehman went off the track here. And this is when Patton got up into the wall, and Lehman actually made contact with him, and it checked Lehman up real bad. And that's when Schulte got into the back of him, pushed him into the grass. And I'll try to find that one with Maul and others. I'm not sure.
Technically, it wasn't a crash, but I mean, it was. But I mean, we know how fickle our software can be at times.
Definitely.
They continue to battle up here, second, third, and fourth. Nose to tail, Schulte, Patton, and Milfeld. All chasing Justin Michael, who is driving away.
I think this is the incident here. Mitten's already up in the wall. Let's back it up just a second. Yep, this is it. Bunch of trucks all together here. T. Turheimer pulls up in front of Rodalasso. Rodalasso and Maul try the crossover. Maul hooks Rodalasso a bit, and then Maul tries to come. Oh, huge net code. The contact between Greg Maul and Rod Minton, it was just massive net code. I don't think either of them really moved up or down.
And that sounded like that was the conclusion that Rod Minton came to as well. Oh, yeah. Watching it back on our feed, yeah, there was definitely a ton of net code there.
So Schulte, Pat, and Milfeld continue to battle for second here. Justin Michael now out to a 2-second lead.
That gap has shrunk a little bit, only by a couple of tenths, but these three have been putting in a little work here. Either that or Michael trying to slow it down, maybe conserve a little bit.
Turheimer and Rodolasso continue to battle. Those two have been together for quite a while now, about 6 or 7 laps. But it's Rodolasso starting to get a little impatient. He really wants to get around the 75. As he looks underneath, he will not be clear.
Well, he should get a pretty good run from the top side here. Rodolasso's definitely got the pace right now. It's just so hard to make this pass stick when you're working underneath. That certainly doesn't help. Greg Mall was just behind these two. Now he's on pit road.
Well, I'm not sure I'm not sure any of the other drivers are going to be able to make it too much farther on fuel here. I think we're going to be a lap or two short. We'll see when the folks start to come in.
Top 10 is Michael, Schulte, Patton, Milfelt, Rainwater, Turheimer, Rodolasso, Madu, and Will Kirk and Johnny Hamby in the top 10 now. Good recovery drive here for Will Kirk.
Yeah, most definitely see him working on Hamby right now. Hamby is going to be clear. Kirk should try the crossover. Oh, no, he's going to stay to the outside of Hamby here.
They prefer the top side at this particular point in the run. And I think Hamby will too, now that he's clear.
And we've now made it to lap 54. I think if they come around next time, I think they should be good. But it would be nice to stretch it a lap or two more just to make sure.
Look who is latched on to this group here from second, third, and fourth. That's not the 5th place driver. That is the 23rd place driver.
Yep. Looking for that caution still. With all the action we've had tonight, I would not be surprised to see it fly at some point. But running out of time.
What's promising for him is he's the only driver that's a lap down. Oh, he's going to come to pit road now. I was going to say he's on a pace to unlap himself and then be on the lead lap if the caution were to come out. But now he's going to short pit and really put himself in a good position here. Blake Madu, Johnny Hamby, Charlie Widener, and James Lehman, Rob Haynes, Cody Griffin all on pit road. Riley Burkma now as well. I think everybody was looking for the Matt Williamson number there, the Magic 55. Ted Moser now and John Pansilla on pit road. Will Kirk will be pitting this time. So, yep, it's an onslaught onto pit road here all of a sudden. Here come the race leaders. Michael, Schulte, Patton, and Milfeld all on pit road.
All 4 of them right here in the shot together. So you can't slide through the box. You got to be clean.
Yeah, Michael lost a little bit of time on pit entry there.
See Pat go into the box. Looked pretty clean. Milfelt looked like he babied it into his box a little bit. May have lost a bit of time.
Chris Voiles was either speeding or missed the commitment line. One of the two. Either way, he picks up the black flag. No Rainwater, Bill Paradise in.
Yeah, Rodolasso took over the lead when the leaders came to pit. He's down pit road now.
Matt Burkhart has picked up a black flag.
And Crowder, who was trying to unlap himself as we mentioned, is going to come out right behind Justin Michael and will give him a little bump here.
Why not make your own caution? Crowder said, I need the cautions to go my way here tonight, and then I need to execute. And he has certainly gotten the good luck at the opening stretch of this race. And I'd say he's executing.
Here comes Milfelt to pass the 7 of Maul. Milfelt is clear, made pretty short work of Maul there that time around.
And again, Maul was effectively the first driver onto pit road in this green flag pit cycle by a couple of laps.
Yeah, Maul is well short, I think, of the pit window. But, and I say well short is like maybe 2 laps. But I don't think it's enough where he can save fuel and make it.
Yeah.
Or if he does, he's going to be coasting across the line at the very end.
I would say that's well short. Really, anything short of you being able to make it back to the line is well short.
Oh, Terheimer and Griffin battling for 9th here. Almost came together there on the front stretch.
Yeah, Waldy's kind of lost a couple of positions here on this green flag pit cycle. Might be able to pick one back up from Greg Maul. He has lost a few positions compared to where he was running on entry.
Johnny Hamby looking to move forward here as well. He's got Blake Madu in his sights.
And Ashton Crowder continuing to work over Justin Michael here is sort of bringing Andrew Schulte and Scott Patton into the fray here as well. They're slowly gaining on the race leader. I mean, we all know if there's a late race caution, all bets are off if Crowder's back on the lead lap. But, I mean, are we to the point of the race now where we think Crowder has effectively been neutralized if we go green from here on out?
Not at all.
No?
If we go green, yes.
Okay.
Yes, sorry. I thought you were referring to he would be buried in the pack on a restart, and he still might not be able to make it through, and I don't think that's the case whatsoever.
No, I don't think that either. Not for a second. Crowder is still, of course, in the lucky dog position because there's nobody between he and the race leader. I don't know if you noticed that or not.
This battle for ninth has turned into a 3-way battle. Will Kirk looking to get past both of them here. Will Kirk has cleared Terheimer, but has Griffin there on top right now.
I mean, what a recovery for Will Kirk.
Kirk really needs to get out in front here so he can get up to the top side and save those tires a little bit. Griffin not going to cross over right now. He's just going to give Kirk a little shot down here.
A little speed boost.
Into the turn.
James Lehman lurking behind this trio as well.
Yeah, unfortunate for Lehman to get turned to the inside grass there and really not caution worthy. So he lost a lot of positions trying to work his way back into the top 10 now after running in the top 5 until that incident happened.
You know how we know it's not caution worthy? Because he's the man with the yellow flag in his hand. If he thought it was caution worthy, he would have. Top 3 and the Lucky Dog truck all nose to tail here.
How does that work? Does he just put it out his window and push to pass
I think so.
everybody so they know?
You know, you get a lot of drag that way, but I think the people around you will definitely know the cautions.
Maybe that's why he didn't throw it. He couldn't. He was in the grass.
Exactly. Too busy saving the truck. Which he did a really nice job, by the way. I think I would have.
He did.
I would have been on somebody's pit crew if that happened to me.
Heck, he might have hit his own pit crew member like they did at Talladega.
Maybe. This is an interesting role reversal here for Ashton Crowder and Andrew Schulta. Remember, it was Crowder who was trying to lap the entire field at Mid-Ohio, and Schulta in the closing laps was not cutting him any slack. Now this is Crowder effectively fighting to stay alive in this race, and Schulta trying to make it to the lead. Doug Heveron has called it a night. Oh, and you know what? He disconnected from the session, but I don't know if he even started the race. But hello, Doug Heveron, if you're watching.
On board right now with Scott Patton. Patton trying to stick to this group in front of him. He's starting to lose him a little bit here.
Somebody is in the grass in the infield. Ted Moser. Moser got up into the wall, came down in front of Brennan Gregg, and Gregg, not with any time to react, turns the 999 of Moser. Well, we said Greg Mall might be going the wrong direction, considering how early he pit compared to everybody else, but he's held his own here in the top 5 since exiting pit road. Now, I think he's about to find his hands full with Charlie Widener and Johnny Hamby. They have started to close up here.
Yeah, we really haven't talked about Widener much here tonight. I don't think really had a great qualifying effort, or at least not as good as he would have liked, like we've seen in the past.
Yeah, he started 14th.
So, yeah, by his qualifying standards most weeks, that is definitely not where he wanted to be.
Behind him, Johnny Hamby would be the hard charger if it weren't for that pesky Andrew Schulta fella who started 29th and is up to 2nd. But Hamby making a nice go of things, up 16 positions from where he started.
Hamby trying to work the bottom a little bit here, get some clean air. And he's going to look to the inside of Widener here in the 95 into turn 1.
Hamby's main goal, I think, with running this league is to improve his oval skills. And if you look at his oval statistics and finishing positions and driver ratings and all that across this season, it has been on a very upward trajectory. He's been doing a really nice job. Got to spend a little time with him on track on Friday nights running the good old Lotus 79. And I think I was bad mojo for him because, well, we didn't make it 10 laps in that race. But it was a good time.
No. Only 10 to go here. Laps are clicking off very quickly, running out of time.
Justin Michael with a truck buffer and also another 0.6 or so. Back to Andrew Schulte, who is fading. Scott Patton is fading. Michael Milfeld in 4th. Greg Mall, again, doing a nice job hanging on to the final spot in the top 5 as Hamby and Widener battling behind them.
Yeah, Hamby's finally cleared Widener, just barely
close
here.
And Blake Madu all of a sudden has pulled up onto the scene of this battle. I mean, out of nowhere.
Yeah, I think Madu was taking care of the tires early on, and that thing's finally starting to come to life for him as everybody else starts to struggle a little bit.
Widener's gotten awfully close there to the wall the last few times through 3 and 4. Greg Mullen has been the wheelman tonight. He's found himself in several precarious positions in terms of making contact with other people. Now is trying to hold on to aging tires as Hamby is going to hound him for the 5th position now.
These two continue to battle side by side here.
A couple of lap trucks directly in front. Should be interesting to see how this will play into the mix here.
I think it would be advantage Hamby if I had to guess, but
We'll have to see where they go.
no, I take it back. I don't know if it's going to matter. Hamby is clear of
May
Mall
not.
right now.
I would say it's probably advantage Hamby. Gonna be awfully tough for Mall to get back to it, although Hamby's gonna open the door here.
Whoa.
They've got the 999 flying up on him. Talked about Ted Moser having a little incident. He is taking the opportunity to come down pit road and put on fresh tires. But why not?
And he is going to scoot right on through.
Absolutely blazing.
If you wanted to know what tire fall off was like, there it is.
There she be. 5 to go.
Yeah, 5 to go, and the leaders have spread out quite a bit here. Crowder now going to get past well, maybe not.
Well, gonna try. Michael got awfully comfortable with the wall there.
I don't. But Schulte, the next truck for position, is a second behind Justin Michael, and then back to Patton. Patton's fallen back a second and a half behind Schulte. So all of those drivers have spread out quite a bit here as Widener and Mall will go back to battling.
Yeah, Justin Michael lost the lead for a few laps. Under the second caution of the race, getting beat out of pit road, but as soon as he got the lead back, man, he has been on rails. Greg Mall pits. I would say you were correct. He was a couple laps short.
Yep, just 2. 2 laps left, and he's in pits.
Oh, man.
Man,
That's unfortunate.
I kind of forgot. I was a little confused there for a second. I'm glad you mentioned that because I totally forgot about it.
One more trip around Justin Michael. And again, that's Ashton Crowder right behind him for the replay for next week. Crowder is still 1 lap down. Unfortunately, this would be a great battle to the end. We might get a photo finish. But it's been Justin Michael's race for quite some time, and now Justin Michael is going to get back to victory lane. Andrew Schulte and Scott Patton round out the podium.
Michael's going to get a little love from the teammates here.
And Ashton Crowder, I'm sure, appreciates being let back onto the lead lap there. I don't think he's going to benefit from it per se. But Crowder is going to finish in the 16th position. It feels like it's been a really long time since Justin Michael had gone to victory lane.
Well, when we're used to seeing him in victory lane and truck 200 every week, yeah, it seems like it's been a while.
Win number 3 on the season. This is race number 13. But it's his first win in 7 races.
Well, he was absent for a couple races in there, too.
And one of those weeks was Daytona, where he only lost by, 3 1,000s, 4 1,000s? Not very much.
And he's going to blow this puppy up right against the wall.
More work for the old TRD engine department as the 87 motor is finally let go, and a job well done.
He gets off the horse and beats it.
The horse has definitely been beaten there. All right, finishing order time after 85 laps in Kansas. It is Justin Michael with win number 3 on the season. Andrew Schulte, another podium finish for him. Scott Patton, a second consecutive podium finish for him. We'll talk to all 3 of these gentlemen momentarily. Michael Milfelt will have a top 5 here tonight. So will Johnny Hamby. Great runs for both of them. Charlie Widener will finish in 6th. Blake Madu, a debut, a 7th place finish for him here tonight. Wally Turnheimer's in the top 10 here. He finishes in 8th. Matt Rodolasso in 9th. And, an outstanding recovery drive for Will Kirk to round out your top 10. A great recovery drive for James Lehman as well. He finishes in 11th. Cody Griffin in 12th. Ryan McRoberts in 13th. Riley Berkmo in 14th. Bill Paradise in 15th. And Ashton Crowder, the final truck on the lead lap, in 16th. John Pansolo one lap down in 17th. Rob Haynes in 18th. Jack Nunemacher in 19th, and Greg Mall with the late pit there will finish in 20th. Matt Burkhart in 21st. Noah Rainwater 22nd. Ted Moser in 23rd. Chris Boyles 24th. Brendan Gregg in 25th. Then I believe DNS from here on out. Brad Slagle in 26th. Rod Mitten 27th. Ronnie Norman, a big shakeup there, will finish in 28th. Kerry Cleaver in 29th. Mick McGuire in 30th. Heath Smith, Tyler Chalk, Jack Watts, Nicholas Bradshaw down through the 34th and final finishing position. We will talk now with our 3rd place finisher. A podium 2 in a row, actually, for Scott Patton here. What was, I'm sure, a pretty white-knuckle race here tonight at Kansas. Welcome back to the podium. How are we feeling after this one?
Pretty good. I think 2, does that make a pattern? Is that what they say?
I think so.
Yeah, so let's set up some runs here towards the end of the season. And yeah, 2 podiums to the other Bandit Motorsports guys. Justin had put on a heck of a race here, obviously taking the win. And Andrew, our Bandit partner here, in 2nd. And yeah, I don't mind finishing 3rd to those guys, I guess.
And you had 4 Bandit trucks up there for a while. You relinquished the lead and then immediately found your hands full with James Lehman. And then just all hell breaks loose right after that. Some crazy racing there after that second caution and restart, trying to battle up front. How difficult is it to maneuver at the beginning and middle of a run here at Kansas?
It is quite tricky. It's one of the more fun tracks to do that with when the guys come out on new tires on after the pit stops and whatnot, when you basically have like 4 or 5, maybe 6 laps at most to have a shot at that bottom line or maybe even the middle line working. So when you get a bunch of guys up there like that can race nice and clean, it's a blast. And that was one of those situations where it was doing no favors for the tires, but it was way too much fun to stop doing it. So, but it's kind of like a chess match with those guys where you're almost thinking a half a lap ahead of time, figuring out maneuvering your truck where you want to be to get the run, to be on the high lane when the high lane ultimately comes into play, like I said, around lap 5 or 6 or so. But meanwhile, the faster line can sometimes be the bottom, so it's sort of a chess match and figuring out who's willing to stay down there and potentially risk going backwards if the tires take effect and you can't get the run off the corner. So, yeah, fun with those guys. James put on a heck of a show up there, and it's fun racing with him up there.
Matt, what do you got?
Well, Scott, congrats on the P3. You talked about the beginning of the run and how you're kind of able to run that bottom line, but I'm sure it's pretty hard on the tires when you get later on in the run. When you get later on in the run, how difficult is it to try to set up a pass, or are you just hoping somebody makes a mistake in front of you?
That's exactly it. All you can do, especially with these guys, is wait for a mistake. Once we get on the second half of the run, there's really no making moves down there whatsoever. I tried one on Andrew, I think. I think he checked up once off of 4. He may have gotten in the wall slightly or maybe just missed it, but when those small mistakes happen, that's when you have to kind of pounce on those guys and try to take advantage. But I think it took me 3 or 4 laps. I was side by side just wearing my stuff down on the inside and with no success whatsoever. So, yeah, just a matter of waiting on that high side for those guys to make a mistake, which obviously they don't do. So.
Well, you said it. We're establishing the pattern here. 2 podiums in a row on a 3-race top 5 streak, I do believe. So everything's looking up 46 here down the closing stretch. Nice run here tonight. Anybody you want to shout out?
Sure. Certainly the guys at New England Racing Museum up here in the Northeast. If you have a chance to check them out on the grounds of New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Stone River Outfitters, we got them on the truck. And we got turn 200 on the quarter panels.
Hey!
Yeah.
Look at that. Appreciate the guys, the work that you guys all do during the week for this, all the graphics and the work putting the storylines together and the broadcast itself. You guys do a fantastic job, top notch for sure. So appreciate all that, and yeah, I think that's it. Appreciate it, guys.
Appreciate you. Great run here tonight. Keep up the good work. We'll talk to you again soon.
Sounds good. Take care.
Alrighty, we'll talk to our second place finisher. Another podium for this gentleman here, Andrew Schulte. With a second place finish. Welcome back to Booth 200. A pretty exciting race up front here, all throughout the race. Nice work to come away with the P2 tonight.
Appreciate it. How are you doing tonight?
I'm pretty entertained, all things considered. It was the Bandit Motorsports show up front there, especially right after that second restart. Some chaotic team racing up front is always fun to watch. Talk us through the incident there with Scott and James ultimately.
Yeah, we were just talking about that. By the time I had seen that Scott was in the wall, because Lehman's truck was positioned just right to where I didn't really see where Scott was sitting at. And by the time I saw he was in the wall, I rolled out of the throttle, and both of their speeds just continued dropping, and I didn't expect it to slow as much as it did. And Lehman went to avoid Scott coming out of the corner there, and I think I was already committed to trying to go under both of them, and just got too close, too quick, and picked his back tires up and sent him down through the infield. Want to apologize to him about that, because obviously it's not what I want to do to a teammate or anyone really. Just unfortunate set of circumstances there.
Yeah, that definitely, especially, we had just noticed right before that pretty much everybody had moved right up alongside the wall within the last couple of laps. So it all happened very fast, that is for sure. Matt, what do you got here?
Well, congrats on the P2, Andrew. A lot of speed here tonight. The second caution, the restart right after that second caution, you made a pretty bold move, or tried to anyways, to the inside to try to get to the lead. Was that kind of out of desperation because later on in the run it's just impossible to pass, or what are the thoughts there early on?
If that was the move on Scott, yeah, I mean, we were just fresh tires. You can kind of put the truck wherever you want, and so just having fun, just having good racing with teammates. And yeah, just tried to send it in there and see what happened. Caught the apron a little bit. Scott pinched the hell out of me. So, just good racing and just trying to see if I could get the old 81 truck up front, lead a lap, show some speed, and didn't get there. And, we're mixing it up back and forth with Scott then and Michael Milfeld and Lehman for a little bit until I punted him. But yeah, just it was good fun racing. The long run tires really sucked, especially when you're just stuck to the outside and can't really do anything. I was trying to mix it up a little bit there, kind of getting towards the end of the run, just trying to see if there was anything I could do different to try and catch Justin, but was a little difficult when he's got Crowder right on his bumper, giving him pushes down the straights and whatnot. I don't know if I had anything for him, but nonetheless, congrats to Justin because he was class of the field of the cars that were on the lead lap and didn't start from the pit 2 laps down. Not mention any names or anything,
No.
but yeah, congrats to him. Awesome to see Bandit Motorsports finish 1, 2, 3 tonight.
Well, Matt liked your their caution number 2 restart. Your caution number 1 restart was pretty good too. Threading the needle 3 wide through a couple of different rows of traffic there. And then, of course, you're the hard charger here tonight. So, any thoughts on the opening lap accident that I'm sure you got a pretty good look at?
Yeah, I right before the race started, I called that we were going to have a wreck due to that similar situation. I gave it 2 laps, though. I didn't think it was going to happen on the first lap. But with how loose it felt in practice, when you were up behind someone or on fresh tires, that first lap or 2 was not treacherous, but it was a little sketchy if you weren't paying attention. And yeah, I mean, we went from like 29th to 13th in a lap, so not really, can't complain about that. I don't know if we earned the hard charger real well with getting that lucky break. It would have been interesting to work our way up through the field with Greg there, because I know he was kind of going for that too. And we had little battles throughout the race there. But yeah, it was just looking for ways to earn a couple more points, because with Justin and Ashton, it's going to be difficult to get laps led and race wins. So,
well, good work regardless. Anybody want to shout out or thank here?
Yeah, shout out to Patented Paints. Anyone out there watching that needs a good quality paint job, I know probably 5 to 10 paints in the field are done by Patented Paints. So shout out to Scott, because he does an awesome job with them. They always look real sharp. Shout out to you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the race, and always love watching the broadcast back. And shout out to all the sim wife moms out there.
Absolutely. Shout out to all the sim wives and sim moms out there. And shout out to you. We had good racing through the field, including at the front. So that's always nice. And thanks for being a part of that. Congrats on the P2 here tonight.
Appreciate it.
Alrighty, now it's time to bring in the race winner here for the 3rd time this season. He is only Justin Michael. Welcome back to Booth 200. Welcome back as a race winner. It feels like it's been too long.
It has been too long. We need to get back here more often, that's for sure.
Well, I'd say tonight is a good way to kick off a streak of dominance for you here, because outside of a couple of skirmishes for the lead, you pretty much the man to beat here tonight.
I tell you, those 10-12 laps there where we were mixing up with teammates, that was actually kind of fun. I even told them, I was like, why don't you guys get up here? We'll do this again. As long as I stay up front in the end, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I was going to say, you got to make sure that you end up at the top of the heap. But no, it absolutely looked like a lot of fun. 4 teammates all duking it out. And then all of a sudden, it seemed like James moved up to the top, and then the battling stopped. Everybody moved right up into the wall, and then they all took each other out. So, I don't know. Is it more fun to pull away from the battle?
Well, I mean, if you want to win the race, yeah, I'd rather be up front, really far away, and make it really boring for me. But I remember an IndyCar driver said that years ago. But no, it was a really fun battling those guys. I know once you get 10, 15 laps on their tires, they just wear out too much, and it's just a highline racetrack at that point, and there's nothing you can do. It's hard to pass. You got to dive bomb them, and slide job, cut them off, and it's some people aren't going to lift if you do that. So, but it was a good run for us. I like this track when I run up front. If I don't run up front, I don't like this track because I can't pass. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say you elected not to take the pole sitter back to front challenge, the People's Choice, and I can understand why, especially 10 to 15 laps into a run, it just seemed impossible to pass. But you closed out that the last run of the race with Ashton Crowder trying to get back on the lead lap right behind you. Did that make you nervous? Was that comfortable for you? How was having Ashton Crowder right behind you for a long time?
It didn't make me nervous. I mean, he's a
Okay.
good driver. He's not gonna wreck me. But I didn't want to let him by because then I would just get arrow tight off him and give those guys behind him a chance to catch me. So I had to do everything I could to stay in front of him. And even in the end, though, he couldn't even get by. Even after he was trying slide jobs and stuff, he couldn't get by. So it's just more of a testament of how bad this track is after about 10 to 15 laps.
Matt, what do you got for the race winner?
Well, congrats, Justin, on the race win here. I'm always curious when you have teammates that run that close together. All four of you were up front. How much information is kind of shared between you throughout the week, or is that just something that kind of happens naturally sometimes?
I think it just happens naturally. We're all the four of us, and even everybody else too, on the team is pretty competitive. We when it comes to super speedways, that's where we break down strategy throughout the week and try to see what we're going to do. But when it comes to stuff like this, I mean, we're not going to put anybody in a bad situation. We'll help each other when we can, but still we want to go out there and win still.
Well, before we get to the thank yous and shout outs and all that, short track racing next week at Richmond. Are we looking forward to it?
No, I'm not a short track guy. I like Richmond. It's my home track, but I'm not the biggest fan of short track. So we'll go out there and hope for a top 5. That'll be a win for us.
Well, there you go. Anybody you want to shout out or thank here?
Just all the guys from Bandit Motorsports, as always. Good group of guys there. You guys for calling a great race. Patented Paints for putting this truck together. We always appreciate him. He makes some really good paints for us, and just everybody out there watching. We like having a big viewership here. So tell your friends, and we will get some more viewers every race, and hopefully soon we'll be up to 50 or 60 every race. So we appreciate it, guys.
There you go. Nice work. Welcome back to Victory Lane. Hope to keep it going here. We'll have to see you at Richmond next week. So hope to talk to you again next week regardless.
Thanks, guys.
175 laps of Richmond next week is gonna be something. But boy, I tell you what. I expected a good race here at Kansas tonight. I think it delivered.
Yeah, it most certainly delivered. When I saw that the Kansas was this week, I knew it was going to be a good race. It seems like there's just always great races here at Kansas, but man, these boys put on a show for us tonight. There was almost too much action to see it all, so I was having to switch cameras. They made my job a little difficult tonight, but all for the right reason. So shout out to all the drivers tonight, and shout out to everybody that was out here watching. Appreciate y'all. Zach Brosman was a first-time watcher tonight, so special shout out to Zach, and he commented as well, so must be a subscriber either today or recently. So appreciate the subscription, and tell your friends and family or anybody else that you know that might enjoy this. We appreciate it very much. Also, shout out to Martha Turheimer, Wally's mom. Flinky Roberts was in the chat, and then Marilyn Beck was cheering on Will Kirk, and of course Noah Rainwater was in the chat before the race started. Appreciate you guys.
Absolutely appreciate everybody coming to hang out with us here tonight on Thursday nights, and any other time you want to hang out with us. We're live quite a bit here on Turn 200 all of a sudden, and moving back to our normal cramped schedule through the week here, slowly but surely. We are back on air next on Sunday for the Mission R Challenge from the Daytona Moto Course. So that'll be exciting for some quick official racing action on Sunday afternoon at 3 o'clock Eastern, 2 o'clock Central. Then Monday night, Truck 200 is at Bristol on Monday. Oh, God, batten down the hatches. It's short track time again. Still off on Tuesdays, but only for one more Tuesday. Next Tuesday is the final one we are off, and then we are back with the Venom Truck Series. Then Wednesday is ASRL from Sears Point Raceway, a.k.a. Sonoma, FKA Sears Point, but it's Sears Point next Wednesday before a doubleheader night with the ASRL Southern Shores Realty Sports Car Championship. Then, of course, the next night is Thursday night, and we will be back with short track racing from Richmond here for Maximum Velocity Racing League. So hope to see you between now and then, but we hope to see you back here regardless next Thursday on Turn 200. For everybody with Maximum Velocity, for the GOAT, Mr. Matt Williamson, I'm Tommy Cook. Until we meet again, we are saying so long from virtual Kansas Speedway, where Justin Michael is finally back to victory lane for win number 3 on the season.